Okay, this is gonna be a good one. Funny, funny, ha ha. This is watch Edward. We're listening to Edward right here. Talking about gatekeepers.
No, when Savvy appeared on panel over there, he jumped. He said, "What did he say, Savvy? Oh, there's another gatekeeper," and he jumped off.
Oh, fuck with this gatekeeper bullshit. Nobody's a gatekeeper.
The only thing I'm a fucking gatekeeper over is a fucking Gilded channel.
If we're trying to protect the community and we're gatekeepers, then yeah. Of course we're trying to protect the community.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course. Protect your community from sickos, but you label who the sickos, supporters, and sympathizers are, huh, Edward? As a gatekeeper in your new little community you're gatekeeping for, because he doesn't want people to know that he's gatekeeping, so people don't know his past, his more recent past. Like, why did he all of a sudden pop up and become popular, right? You know, same thing with the Vegas community and the trucker community, the Bundy community, right? They don't want, well, Edward doesn't want people to know about his past gatekeeping attempts. Let's put it that way.
Because Locke asked me on 2 different streams, what about this? What about this?
See, well, you don't have to explain anything.
No.
Yeah, but what I don't get though is if I call the dude up, right, he's gonna be respectful, to me, and he'll be, act like he's my friend and all that shit, right? But then it's like gatekeeper this, gatekeeper that, knowing that, he includes me with the gatekeeper, group, right? I mean, I don't get it. It's I mean, are you my friend or not?
Are you his friend or not? See, so he is after clout and for people to be his friends, because that's the only way he can get friends or on the internet. But yeah, he's gatekeeping once again for people that don't realize his past, the way he's now calling police on pred catchers, right? And he's supposed to be helping catch preds, but he's calling police on preds as he's gatekeeping. Very interesting here.
But what I don't get though is if I call the dude up, right, he's gonna be respectful, to me, and he'll be, act like he's my friend and all that shit, right? But then it's like gatekeeper this, gatekeeper that, knowing that, he includes me with the gatekeeper, group, right? I mean, I don't get it. It's I mean, are you my friend or not?
That's maybe what he needed when he had he offered me, let's say, a proposition over the phone to have a phone conversation with him. And so I did, and he acted cool with me, but it basically seems like the first opportunity he got to throw me up under the bus with the information that we obtained by a phone conversation going through a court case record. He twisted it around for his benefit and left out important details of that particular case of a officer or a detective losing his qualified immunity, which he won't mention for some reason. And then he uses that for some type of clout to become friends with poor dirt farmer, right? Buddy. And then he doesn't want people to call him a gatekeeper as he's dictating to the people that are in his community, right? That, Mr. Cox is, and says my real name. We'll put it in here. We'll add that in, where he's trying to tell his people that Mr. Cox is a sympathizer, protector, and supporter of sickos. That's some gatekeeping shit right there to a bunch of sheep that'll go, oh, we don't care. Oh, that's not of importance if you're gatekeeping for your community, right? You need friends for clout and clicks, huh, Edward? Oh man, it just proves some of the other things we've done on this tub of lard. All right, let's watch Edward here do some gatekeeping for clout, clicks, and friends to weaponize his audience and get him to come into come into my stream to troll me. Watch this. The right at the end of this first song, the beginning of his stream here. Oh, this is good. Watch, he comes right out of the gate. He's pissed. Turn that up a little bit. Watch him gatekeep. Oh.
Yeah, that's why they murdered him. Because of that video, and another video he did, exposing pedophile groups. Yeah, Jules, I'll call you today. So,
Exposing.
apparently there's, and it's not even this community, y'all. It's the previous community I used to be in. There's this cocksucker, this pedophile defender.
Wow.
This pedo sympathizer named Aaron Victor Cox, who's over there right now, saying that I used the death of Nick's niece for clout, for views on my channel.
Wouldn't be the first time he used something for some clout, clicks, and views. Just an FYI. He came right out of the gate, though. Yeah, who is Nick?
Can y'all believe that?
Gotta weaponize your audience. Gatekeep for him there.
Nick's a good friend of mine from Ohio.
That's bullshit.
And I've known him since 2018, early 2018.
What a douche move.
And he's trying to be relevant by building a channel off of my channel.
Oh. No, because I've always not wanted a channel, big channel, just a channel to where I can stream, to where I can listen to it and then download it later while I'm camping or something like that. That's what non-gatekeepers do, right? And have a life outside of your weaponized sheep that you're gatekeeping for to protect your community because of your past. Because some of the nefarious things he's done in the other communities he's been in the past. Gatekeeping for.
He defends a sex offender named Rex Allen Fredrickson.
Defends.
Look him up.
Yeah, defends.
Sex offender.
Well, you see, the thing is even after our personal conversation and we both came up to the consensus that that's a messed up situation and an officer or detective lost his qualified immunity because the sex offender found a loophole, and that we should educate people on how the sickos find loopholes because they might have been entrapped. You need to, need to educate your community, right, on how to not entrap. But him and Clovis, that's what he doesn't want all these people to know about, is him and his Mark Connors connection with Clovis, how they may have been entrapping sickos, right, that cost actually, and this is where people say, oh, he's a supporter or a defender or a sympathizer. No, if you entrap the sicko and they sue, and good detectives lose their qualified immunity because some dumbass wants clout in his bullshit community he's gatekeeping for, and he doesn't get it right because they're just salivating. They need those donos. If they get a catch on a sicko, right, they're gonna get donos. Well, when that sicko gets entrapped and is able to find a loophole and sues their community, not Edward, but their community for, like $300K, that puts more money into sicko's hands so they can become even more sick. So Edward can just keep clout chasing and gatekeeping to who he wants to deem and call a sicko or a sympathizer or a pred. And doing that determination is the likeness of the state. That's what the state does, is they determine who's reasonable, responsible, mentally ill, right? And all these other things. Listen to this little bitch clout chase.
And he called Rex's victim, just a drug addict.
No.
Who got what she deserved.
Wow, and she got what she deserved. Never once did I put it like that. I was concerned that the girl was being used by the police and the sicko because she was a drug addict. I didn't just say, oh, yep, she's just a drug addict and deserved what she got. Never did I say that. But this gatekeeper is gonna peddle that to his dumbed down audience so they come troll me during a live stream. This little bitch right here. Gatekeeper.
Because she was a teen drug addict.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate that happens. Maybe the cops giving a teen drugs and using her as a confidential informant. It's been happening in the country, but for some reason, ball licker here, gatekeeper, doesn't like to talk about
even
that.
People that don't like me in this community posted that GoFundMe for Nick. Even people that hate me posted that GoFundMe for Nick.
Yeah, it wasn't about the GoFundMe, and the reason why they're crying is because I said quit crying on the community about the death of the niece, right? Take it to private, and instead of like trying to get your sympathy, clicks and views, didn't even know about it, GoFundMe at that time, instead of putting it all on the community, this tragic death, right? Well, I mean, it is tragic, but I haven't done that with the tragic deaths I've endured. I was just trying to tell him, go find a shoulder to cry on. But lo and behold, you find out that there's a GoFundMe involved, and that's why there was so much about this death of this niece, right? I mean, it's been like that in the past, grifting, right? I haven't needed to put out or do a GoFundMe for anybody that I've lost, right? Nor have I openly put it on the internet, right? Just like when my deceased parents were brought onto the internet instead of me saying, hey, I've lost my parents and I need some sympathy. I need a mommy's shoulder to cry on. See, I didn't do that. But the crying about it and then the lashing out on Mr. Cox saying, you better panel up, Cox, you're a dick and you're a pedo supporter, right? That's what Nick did. So I go, dude, why don't you go find Kim's shoulder to cry on instead of being a bitch in the chats about it, right? But all of a sudden, this is a great way for this gatekeeper, Edward S., to be able to peddle that there's a GoFundMe out there, right? And it's amazing how the Pred community is gatekept by a little child that's using mommy's database, right? That can't even unseal important records, but he's gonna gatekeep and play Mr. Doxer in the background. And by the way, his past, you could pay or donate to Edward S. for someone's docs. That's the way it does work. So there was some way that Mr. Edward S. wanted to get in for some reason for clicks, clout, and gatekeeping value to a new community, right? Where a bunch of people are watching. This is great.
This community has donated thousands of dollars to that GoFundMe.
Dude.
I'm not using it for
this. Yes, he is. This, what do we say? Millennial, okay, has no effing idea what he's actually participating in, or maybe he does. Well, actually, I think he does in the background to run a lot of sheep off of the cliff eventually when it's pertaining to his handler's time. Since he's a gatekeeper, he more than likely has a handler, right? Which is probably Clovis or somebody like that. Who knows, right? But eventually this gatekeeper will be running people off the cliff, just like in the Bundy movement and the Las Vegas shooting movement, right? His communities which are very communistic. Might as well make up a gulag so this gatekeeper can run people around with a whip as a Stasi general to see and say who goes to the gas chambers. Let's put it that way. That's eventually what happens. Huh, bitch. My little bitch. He says he's gonna make people his bitch.
You get to help my friend's family.
Good.
How much have you donated, Aaron?
Oh, like that matters. That matters, right? Well, see, no one really needed to donate when I lost good friends to either the CV-19er or something else, a tragic accident, right? I didn't have to put out there and try to get people to donate for clout, right? So we can control, oh, you're part of the community. You've donated to the GoFundMe. You're part of the community. You've donated to me for a dox. I don't need that type of shit, right? Boomer or millennial, Mr. Millennial, Edward S. But Aaron made it about himself.
To any cause like that, Aaron.
Oh. So
don't.
all of a sudden, his gatekeeping depends on who's donated to what in their online bullshit community for clicks and clout. And you got Lady Scorpio in there that says that I've doxed her in the past. That's why she's so pissed and going to bring up my name and part of it when I didn't. And I didn't make it about myself. What I pointed out is that Nick Cook, this little bitch here, was in Scotty's chat crying. For some reason, I couldn't figure it out. But now I've figured it out that there's a GoFundMe, right? Crying. And lashing out on people because he's pissed, right? Instead of maybe consoling someone in private, and crying on Mommy Kim's shoulder, right? That's all I said. But I made it about myself, huh? There, Lady Scorpio, you fucking frauds.
Needed some dog food to your pedophile buddy, right?
Oh yeah, to get an asshole like this to talk about it, right? So poor Dirt Farmer can say that I tried to also start a radio station with the sicko when that's never the case. I haven't wanted to work with anybody on the internet. I might tell people how to do some streaming or give them some tips and tricks on streaming. And that's about it, right? Never wanted to really work with anybody. Maybe do a couple of shows, right? But that's about it. Help people maybe expose themselves, huh, Edward? Like when he wanted me to come on his channel because he, and do an interview and act cool with me, right? Just to be able to data mine and be a bitch about it later. But see, the thing is, there's not much that they can really bring up besides this dog food thing. Huh, wow, yo mama. That's why I did it. To give pussbag shitholes gatekeeping like this, Edward S., right? Something to talk about. Something little bit to give them so they, right? So they become a bitch like this. Needed them.
Why do you got to make everything about you, Aaron?
All about me.
Is it because I banned you from this channel because you're a piece of shit, Aaron?
Oh, man, no, that's gatekeeping, right? He's wondering why people are calling him a gatekeeper when they swing back at his bullshit. Who is Ed? Who is Aaron? Well, he's a sicko. He's a pervert. He's a bad guy. Because we're gatekeepers, right? You little bitches.
Nick, drop his link to his live stream right now so everybody can go over there and tell him what a fucking scumbag piece of shit he is.
Right. So Edward can sit back like an overlord and go and send his new friends that he got for clout, clicks, and donos for doing some doxing in the background. He's going to send his new friends over to Mr. Cox's channel after he dictates to his sheep what kind of a person Mr. Cox is, right? In their LARPville fantasy, of course. There you go. Sounds like an asshat, right? There's one of the people that came over and trolled me. We got the AI on him, and what they did is they left pretty quick, actually. They came in and...
Victor Cox, PatCon. You know him, I'm sure. Yep. Fellow mine. I'm sure you know Aaron.
Uh-huh. Isn't that great? So he sends him in.
You know,
and there it is. Oh, thanks.
Defender.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And you know, what's funny is when we had our conversation about that case and we came to the consensus that sicko, Mouse, was able to find a loophole and get a detective fired, and he lost his qualified immunity, that must be supporting by trying to dig into the case and come up with the details of what happened. But he's not going to talk about that for some reason, that a sicko found a loophole to be able to sue, possibly, and get more money to become a bigger sicko. He's just going to associate people with that sicko and saying, oh, yep, he's supporting him. Oh, he's their friends, without talking about the main supporter for some reason that poor dirt farmer is protecting, that Citizen Z is protecting, and they were all up in there as gatekeepers with the sicko. Isn't that interesting? Wow. Oh, Nick. Seeing that he got all these socks, Aaron Cox, stuff like that. Isn't that awesome? Oh, we're going to have fun with this bitch. He thinks he's going to make people his bitch. He's becoming a bitch. A gatekeeping community bitch. Yeah, commie community. See, he's watching. He's watching the chat right now.
He's live right now. Everyone go say hello.
Yeah. Make sure you go say hello and call Mr. Cox a chomo.
Tell him what you think of him.
Yeah, it's okay if you weaponize your people to call Mr. Cox a chomo. I didn't know he had a channel.
Oh, you know of him, but you didn't know he had a channel? Yeah, he's got a channel. It's not LARP Busters now.
Never was LARP Busters, ding-a-ling. I just can't believe I called him a ding-a-ling like NSC lady. So, see, he's sitting watching back. Nick Cook is helping facilitate because Mr. Cox was so mean to their buddy Tweechie to make him rage quit to go to Twitch. Right? These guys. What's going on? The real MasterCard. See, and he's kicking back and he's watching all of his people come into my chat.
Is there somebody from a community I used to be in Rare MasterCard saying that I'm using Nick's niece's GoFundMe?
I never said that, his GoFundMe, because at that time I didn't know there was a GoFundMe. He's the one that enlightened me that there was a GoFundMe. You know what I'm saying? But lo and behold, leave it up to Mr. Cox to bust out these grifting LARPers for cry sympathy donos in Scotty's chat. For some reason, it was a little bit more of a, and hey, I'm not objecting to anyone using a GoFundMe to help with the family death or something like that. But when it's kind of peddled and then all of a sudden you're using it as an excuse to call Mr. Cox a sympathizer or a chomo or a sicko to peddle to your crew like you're a gatekeeper, that's where we get to record. Oh, this is
clout and for views.
You sure shit did.
And he's live right now on some dumb shit. So
let's go back.
Rare MasterCard saying that I'm using Nick's niece's GoFundMe for clout and for views.
This is the first time I heard about that.
And he's live right now on some dumb shit. So I'm sending everybody over there to, tell him hello.
Tell him hello. Tell him hello. Yeah. So they come in and call me chomo and stuff like that. And he's sitting back watching right now as an overlord to watch his people come at me instead of him coming in my chat and going, hey, dude, I'm live. You want to come on the panel and explain your side? No,
How many people were in there? I bet almost nobody. Because that's what he is. He's a fucking nobody. He's been on YouTube for 10 fucking years. And he gets like...
He gets like what?
Exactly.
So, in his clout gatekeeping LARP. It's important how long somebody's been on YouTube and how many subscribers they have and how many hits they get on videos when I don't give a shit. I'm on multiple platforms. Just YouTube is kind of the front line right now, in a sense. Okay? So, even though I've been on probably longer, actually 11, 12 years, something like that now, on the tubes, right? And watching even longer before then, right? And I wanted a small channel. That's why I took a swing at China and shill bags like this gatekeeper, Edward S. When you take a swing at shill bags, they take you out of the algorithms, just like they did to Shizzle recently. They took his channel out of the algorithms. It doesn't pop up first when you enter in Shizzle. You know what I mean? It's being taken out of the algorithms and buried down a little bit lower. You know what I'm saying? That's what I wanted with the channel. Didn't want any recommended videos in your recommended feed, right? Kind of had to figure out who I was and come find me. But apparently, I might be a little more known than I realized by gatekeepers in a community, right? Sympathizing for the donos, in my opinion. Let's go ahead for another minute here.
I'm using my clout and views to support the GoFundMe.
Yeah, I never knew that until he said something or somebody said something in my chat. I was like, there's a GoFundMe? I didn't know. Well, now some things make sense.
His name is Aaron Cox. He's a pedophile defender, real MasterCard. He defended this pedophile named Rex Allen Fredrickson. He goes on YouTube as the name Beware Mouse. He's defended him several times. He's called his victim just a drug addicted, just a drug addict. And
he changed it a little bit.
She baited Beware Mouse into sleeping with her. He's just a real scumbag.
I don't think I even said that. I said that she was being used by the cops, I think. Wow. See, when we had our private conversation, once again, the consensus was this sicko found a loophole and a detective got fired. But he's not going to sell it that way. That's not going to help his sympathy donos to the GoFundMe. Isn't that amazing? This lying trash piece of shit, even after we had a private conversation and went over to the case and came to the same consensus that when sickos get entrapped and try to sue and get more money because they just want a lawsuit for getting entrapped, now they're a sicko with more money that just cost the community, your real community, like $300K or so. That's okay, huh, Edward? Wow, that's supporting when you bring up those type of statistics and details of a case. Isn't that amazing? This little piece of shit. And then there's the GoFundMe link again. Wow, these guys. This is great, man. But he's sitting back.
So he's trying to use my channel for some clout.
No. Wow. No, thank you. Oh, he'll go say something right now. What the real MasterCard did is came in and into my chat, called me a chomo. Wow. That's okay, huh, Mr. Gatekeeping Edward S., for going through the details of a case that he won't even talk about. All right, I think that's good enough. Let's see. I think he spurgs out a little bit more here.
Thank you, real MasterCard. Appreciate that, bro.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He appreciates it. Oh, yeah. The Overlord. Yep. Go in and call him a chomo. Thanks, guy. Thanks, MasterCard, for calling him a chomo. You sick pieces of bastard trash for reading out the sick, gory details of News Now Houston's victim after he got charged. You sick fuck. That's what Edward S. does to gatekeep. To keep his guys like MasterCard so they can project on others.
Even writing the wrongs shared the GoFundMe. Even Angelita Batista shared the GoFundMe. And those people, I mean,
Make it about the
I got
GoFundMe.
really no other use for them. They don't have any use for me. I don't care for them at all. I think Angelita Bautista's garbage.
What a clout
But
chasing
you know what?
piece of
Thank
shit.
you for sharing the GoFundMe. I do appreciate that. Thank you for helping Nick's family and understanding that Nick has nothing to do with, the things that I do in this community. He's just a friend. He's just here supporting.
Right. What he's doing is also gatekeeping. Nick Cook is also gatekeeping because they don't want people to know about the entrapping of sickos that they were doing with Clovis to weaponize a sicko. But what's interesting is Edward will call on Colorado Pred Patrol, something like that, CPP or whatever it is. He'll call the cops on him for entrapping. But I thought it was any means possible to get these sickos off the street. But once one gets entrapped, now he's calling the cops on Colorado Ped Patrol. Wow. Anyways, thanks for checking this out. I'm not going to ask what he did and ask anybody to go troll this gatekeeping piece of shit, right? Let him have his lab. Let him have his reign as an overlord in his sheepville, right? Where he can control people and feel good about it in the background and watch like a Jabba the Hutt slobbermouth that needs a drool rag. That would suck. That would really suck to have to be an overlord like Jabba the Hutt in your community, right? Your online community for clout, clicks, and gatekeeping status.